Hey, what's up, guys? A friend of mine actually said, like, why don't you do a review vid on this? And do you know what? So that's what I'm gonna do. But however, guys, bear with me on this one, because although it came out on Thursday, I've only got 10 hours under my belt, and about half of that time has been spent customizing cars in the garage. So therefore, I'm just going to give you what I'm going from as a first look review rather than a real deep in view. So just have a look at that. So what I'm going to do is, rather than do anything, I'm just going to go for a drive so you can see what the graphics look like. Okay, now car choices, there isn't a huge amount. You're probably looking at only about 20 cars, possibly 30 tops. So graphic wise, it is amazing. I love the fact, like, the rain and the lights reflecting on the roadway, that's very realistic. But the same annoying thing that I love about that is that it's constantly nighttime, or it goes to like sunset time, but it's not really a sunset because it's constantly raining or dreary looking, so therefore it's dark, which then kind of makes it a bit pointless because you spend all this time making your car look really nice in the garage, but then you go outside and of course your car then doesn't look exactly how it looked in the garage because it's never in those daylight conditions. So it's a little bit annoying like that. And because my eyesight is not 100%, I also find it very frustrating, and I usually hit walls when I'm driving because nighttime vision for me is not as good as my daytime vision, so I do struggle very much, and it puts a bit of a down on it for me. I lose a lot of confidence in driving. Let's go to the right. But the cars do feel realistic. I mean, you get a choice of 3 starter cars, and the one I picked was a Subaru, and it handled quite nicely, but it's a bit heavy, so that's why I've done a Lotus here for more the drifting cars. And you can do everything, then you can tune them to make them more for drifting or better for grip, so you can really fine tune them, which is great if you're really into racing cars and you want the finer details. But in some ways, here's where I've got a bit of a gripe. I love Most Wanted, okay, both the original on the PS2 and if you can class it as a remake on the PS3. I just wish they'd put that on the PS4, because the choice of cars, I know technically because it had a bit of a burnout feel, it was you could ram players and destroy their cars way too easily, but in some ways it was nice. You could just go for a drive. Now, another reason why I'm using this car is for another reason, because it's not as fast as my Subaru, and that is another reason because cops pounce on you very easily in this game. I went for a drive with my friend when the game first came out. We're just driving around, the cops were picking up on his tail every like 2-3 minutes. It's ridiculous because it's a free roam game, so how can you enjoy free roam if then you're having to pick up cops, It's a bit of a distraction. I don't really like it. I'd rather just play the game as is. But there we go, that's just one of the annoyances. But anyway, if I bring up the map, I'll be able to show you some of the things you can do. Let's cut the engine off. Okay, so here's the map. Have a look at how big it is. This is as much as I can zoom out. It's a really big map, as you can see. You've got your mountains, which are good for drifting, if you like your drifting areas. You have a lovely big freeway, so you can really open it out. There's a nice, pretty much straight stretch here, if people like to go on. Actually, you can take these off. There you go. Makes it look a bit cleaner for you. The highway system is a little bit confusing. If you can make it out like these bits here and over here. I mean, trying to get on and off the freeway is a little bit of a nightmare. And especially, again, say here's where in racing I suffer, because if it says sunny turn left and you're not expecting it and your vision's a bit impaired, boom, you slam into a wall, you lose points, and well, not points as such, but you lose your place. So if you've got really good nighttime vision, it probably won't annoy you so much. Okay, there are things here that are, let me see, I've got the garage. I think there's only one garage that I know of, but you can teleport straight back to it, and you can teleport as well to any event. You have the collectibles. These look like a roundabout symbols are donuts. As you can see, I've just got 2 left to find, but there are no trophies that I've noticed for collectibles, so it seems kind of a bit pointless. The only one that really makes any proper sense is these 3 parts. Now you drive up to them and you press the R1 button and you get a free part for your car, which you can claim back in the garage. Can't be used against all cars that you've got, so I think it's like choose wisely, because I think once you've used them you can't get them back. So if it's just to give you a starting boost until you can afford really good parts, then do that. Okay, we've got events here, so as you can see it now, I just want to show you that you can, say for example, teleport to anywhere. That's your symbol, obviously the blue triangle. So let's pick Let's go for this one. See, you got route or got teleport. So we'll just do a quick teleport. And it's pretty simple, the fact you can teleport anywhere. So if you're right at one end of the map, but you want to do the race, like the circuit race, the sprint, the drift, or the time trial, I think that's pretty much all the race types, then you can just teleport to it. You don't have to drive all the way out there, but maybe you'd like the drive. And it's pretty then simple, like the old, or the new way, I should say, rather of doing it, that you just drive up and then you'd say press R1 and you'd start the event. Okay, so tell you what guys, let's have a little hop then to the garage, and then I can then show you some of the aspects you can get. And we'll have a little look at the cars as well. I won't be able to show you the body of the cars, you're only going to see a picture, but that's the best I can do. But you'll get an idea for what cars are actually in the game. Okay, so here, this is my Subaru. You may remember this one because this was actually the car I did on my vid, which took me 3 hours to do. I've had a bit of a change around again and have it look a bit nicer. So here we go. So I'm just going to go normal speed, just enough for you guys to see, and you can get an idea for prices. Earning money is not too bad, just a bit of grinding involved, doing several races again and again, but but the races don't go down in price. So if you do a race for 3.5 grand, you can do it again for 3.5 grand. If you enjoy it, you can keep doing it again and again. You probably get a fast way of earning money, but then you've got to remember to buy parts as well. Paint and decals are free, so you don't have to worry about, you can use as many as you like to your heart's content, and voila. Okay, as you see, that's my Lotus there. And the reason I bought the Lotus was just I wanted a very lightweight car for drifting, and I've got a bit of a fondness for Lotuses. I've seen quite a few in the flesh in my time, so it's like, ooh. Oh no. I wonder if that's a car I've seen in real life, but who knows. So we keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. I do believe you might unlock more cars as you level up, because earlier on the highest car I could view on my screen was, I think it was the Ferrari. So now I've leveled up, I can actually now view this Ferrari. So I'm pretty sure that's it. Could be wrong, but there you go. So I don't know, maybe you unlock more cars. I don't want to say for sure. As you can see, you can also view the specs by toggling it, so that way you can see how fast it accelerates, how quick, and blah. Again, I'm a girl and I'm not that much in tune with cars. I just want to drive the things. I don't want to really, know the finer details. Maybe playing Gran Turismo if that's the case. But the good news is visual custom. Visual you can do things like the bodywork and that, but as you can see, sometimes you can't change things. It depends on the car. You've got paint in that and decals. Now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put any on the car, but I want to show you what you've got, sort of things. So you get an idea. And say you can use as many of these as you like. The plain ones like this, like these colour ones, you can recolor. You can make them metallic or gloss, how bright, how much they show through. But these ones you can't change the colour. So if it's already in colour, you can't change it. But if it's just a plain white one, then yeah, you can. So you got like the animal section. So I just want to give you guys the idea of how like decals are. I mean, imagine like the shape ones. You could probably create anything. And that's more what I like about this game, because I used to have Mod Nation Races and I loved that game, but the problem was, obviously it's not like a serious racing game, but I loved the customization of it. I loved how you could add all these things and you could edit them and you could make it your own. So I like it in this game as well. And you can, not only can you choose, I'll try if I can show you, what can I do, just, or I'll just go through the final things. So, let me see. Let's use this ball of fire just to why don't me scroll up. There we go. Now it's got a bit of a lag issue, I think, at the moment. I think it's the weekend, so it's a bit of an overkill. Right, so let's do this one. Okay, so this is just an example. Obviously you can choose where on the car you're going to put it. You can make it bigger, you make it smaller, you can rotate it anyway. You can also duplicate it, so you can have one on the opposite side. You've got this thing, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but you can actually like flip it over. I think you won't, I don't know why it's not showing it this one. But hey ho, we get the idea. And also then with the layering system, as you can see, I can scroll it down with the directional button that means that it's like in the layer. So you can choose, you can layer the decals, and after you put one on top, you can also put it underneath. And it's things like that. It is limitless with the customization of the look of the cars, but see, that's something that annoys me. You've got all these customization options, but you go outside and it's pitch black, and then hardly anyone's going to see your car. So it seems a bit wasted. I'd like to see some daytime. I know in real life cars wouldn't be racing at night time, but in real life, who can afford this car to go race? So, you know, I mean, it seems a bit, you know, what can you do? But I mean, technically you've got limitless. You can then design your own things. You could just make it look as normal as you like. You can also change the colour of the rims. So, hold on, I've just noticed something actually, that I've got 2 different rims. Whoops. So let's lose those changes. I can show you how, like, rims, for example. So, scroll down. So rims, change rim. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe I have to, maybe because of what it is, you have to actually say, oh, I want this rim on the front as well. If so, whoops. So that's right. Let's just get that sorted. I was wondering why it didn't look the same. I was like, hold on. Just gotta find, I have just to find the wheel again. So excuse me a second, I just scroll through. But as you can see, I mean, you get the idea for how it looks in the game. Okay, I've forgotten what wheel it was. It should, for some bizarre reason, when you pick rim, it gives you the option, do you want this rim on the front? So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to, I think I've got to do this first. Yeah, for some reason, when I bought my other car, it allowed me to equip both wheels onto the same, but for some bizarre reason, it ain't doing it on this one. Okay, but it's the Ray 57D. Okay. Right, so on that note, she says, I'm now going to change this one. But there you go. So that is a quick review of it. It's nice to have free roam in a game, but the cops kind of annoy me. The night times kind of annoy me, but these are very minor things. Now, I'm not going to put storyline into this because I haven't done much of a storyline. So personally, I don't think it's right for me to say about if, you know, if it's, yeah, apply to all rims. And this again, apply to all rims. There you go. Now my wheels match. Yay! So there are good things in the game and there are bad things, but guys, remember, it's purely what you want in a racing game. So think about that before you buy it, and then you'll be very happy, I'm sure, at the end of the day, whether you spend the money or not. Or maybe if you're a little bit unsure, then I'd say just wait for a little bit for it to be reduced, and then, you know, it will then be okay. And I just got to save this now, because if not, we could have problems. Yoink. Okay. So yeah, guys, so that is Need for Speed. Well, Need for Speed. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and I hope this video has been of some help.